He looked at the doctor in front of him and waited for him to start the session. "Hello, Mr. Kim," the doctor greeted. He nodded his head in return. "So did our last session give you new perspective?" Doctor asked. He nodded his head again. "It did. I can see why my sister did what she did. I would also do same for my family." The doctor smiled. "And what do you think of your wife's pregnancy?" He didn't respond. He has come to accept her sister's decision. He didn't blame her anymore. She did what she thought was the best to protect her child, but the fear that intense has caused him in a difficult shake-off. The fear was still there and he didn't know what to do next. Mr. Kim, he focused on the doctor. "I still fear something going to happen to her. It is still very hard. She wants to enjoy her pregnancy so much and it's clouded by my fear and I hate myself for that. I try very hard to let go of the fear. It just isn't ready to leave me." The doctor nodded. "I understand, Mr. Kim. You have to give it some time. It's definitely your mind subconsciously related to your wife pregnancy. But the fear will go. I have seen it happening and I am sure it's going to happen with you as well. It will be take the dreadful memory to be replaced with the beautiful ones. Just be a little patient." Taehyung took in the doctor every word and his word filled him with the hope of enjoying like any normal person. Hope of not marrying why and happiness with his fear. Doctor is asking him to be patient and patient he will be. He will try to not to give in the fear and take care of his wife the best he can. He will try to be happy about this pregnancy just like Ryan. Try being the keyboard. He was trying. He doesn't know how much he accomplished by trying, but at least he can try to not burden her with the fear. "So Mr. Kim, I guess we are done for today," the doctor said. Dr. Watt broke his visit and he stood up and nodding at the doctor and exited the office. Time escape. He entered his house to see his wife lying on the couch, her leg resting on the couch arm and her darling son bending over her, taking 19 of dozen. A small smile touched his lips. He family wandered somewhere between cute and weird and now he loves them to the moon and back. "What's happening here?" he asked as he walked toward them. As Yoon jumped on the couch to greet him, he sat on the couch and insisted Ryan shifted Ryan's head on his lap. "Any problem?" he asked, looking at her. She smiled at mouth and said no. "Daddy Uma taught a new thing today," he said, brushing the excitement. "And what is that?" he asked. Yoon started singing in nursery. Ryan smiled, proud of his son. "My instincts." She pulled him to her and kissed his cheek. He lifted an eyebrow at his wife and can't help the chuckle that left his mouth. "That's great, Yoon. You learned that in the day. I am so proud of you. You learned. I had remembered your phone number too, Daddy, and everything else you had asked me to do today. I even had a..." Yoon's word won her heart. Even when he was battling with his fear, he remembered to take care of her. "You know what? Nothing going to happen to me," she said with a conviction shuttle. He looked down at his wife. What? She pulled herself in sitting position and took his hand in her. "You have nothing to fear. I'm not going anywhere." Ryan knew it. God just cannot do to this person. He just cannot do without in his life, and God isn't heartless to take away his own anger to this world. She won't do it. "And how are you so sure about his?" Just felt too tired, but he had to ask. One smile and drop a kiss on his cheeks. I just know it. You, me, Yoon, and a new baby is going to live together for a long, long, long time. Despite to himself, he laughed, cupped her face between his palm. He tricks nose with her. I hope so, and I hope so. I am not living. Just know. When she rested her lips on his, giving him a lovely time escape. She moved to her left, hoping to rest against the heart from her husband, but was disappointed. She found as she lifted little more toward his side, with the same result. With her form depending, she turned to see that her husband wasn't on the bed. With one hand on her bulging stomach, she dragged herself in the sitting position. Now, where is this stupid man? She wondered aloud. She looked at the beside the table, see the jar half filled with the water. She then looked at the bathroom. The light were off. Then where was he? He was also getting midnight craving like her, giggling her own funny thought. She threw blanket aside and got up from the bed. She checked Yoon's room first, where Yoon was asleep. She smiled at her baby cute sleeping form, throwing a flying kiss in his direction, closed the door quietly, and she descended the stair carefully and made her way toward the kitchen, but she didn't find him there too. She dragged his stool and sat down shyly. Where is guy making me search him everywhere? This stupid man, doesn't he know I can't sleep properly if he's not beside me, making me walk all over the house with such big stomach? She looked down at her hug stomach and smiled. She was in her 8th month. Things were going better than she expecting. With all the conclusion he was taking, he was feeling good. He's still scared. She can see the fear in his eyes whenever he looked at her stomach, but somehow he learned to keep fear away and doing everything he can take good care of her and the baby. He's still not excited about the baby and the emotional mess she is these days. It upsets her sometimes, but she knows she's worrying for not. She knows once the baby is here and both the baby and safe. He will prove to be best father just like he is with Yoon. In the last few months, he has opened his heart completely to Yoon. He has won his bad past completely where Yoon is concerned. Somehow the fear of losing her is still holding him in clutches, but she is sure he will through that. She again looked down at her stomach and caressed it. Don't worry, my baby, daddy too loves you. He will realize it soon as the fear leaves his side, which isn't that far. Just one more smile, she promised, and now go back to sleep. Uma is going to search for her stupid man. She again went upstairs, peeking inside every room. She finally paused in the front of the guest room. The light were on. Her brow frowned in the confusion. What was he doing alone in the guest room? One wonder. She slowly opened the door, entered the room, and stood dumbfounded. He sat on the bed, sweating profusely. His finger clenched and unclenched. She immediately ran toward him, influencing the tight. What? Her voice shook. She pulled back to his face, stone face. He was looking at something in front of. She followed his gaze, and every her eye pulling back from the hug, she cupped his face between her palm and made him look at her. His eyes were blank. He was looking at but his mind was comprehensive as why, she pleaded. Why are you doing this to yourself? Her voice shook and the tear fall down her cheek freely. Looked at me, she screamed, unable to see him like this. Please, she held his head against her. Please don't do this. Please, why? The doctor said it might help Taehyung was finally found his voice. Mama taking his cold hand in her, she rubbed it again her palm. He told watching bird, video might help me overcome my fear. When I will see the happy face to the parents after all the troubling they go through, I will realize that I am scared for nothing but when I just couldn't it to her. She took the remote which was lying beside him and turned the TV off, cupping his face. She made him look at her. It will go, the fear will go, but don't do this yourself, please. But I wanted to be with you, and when you are going to never, I want to be with you. Hold your hand, be strength, not weak. She stood still, just observing every word. All the emotion loaded in the throat made it difficult for her to utter anything. The pain visible in his eyes felt dagger pressing her heart. You don't have to do this. Please, you're just trying to be fight yourself. Your fear for your family. Enough for me. This gave me strength. He lifted his shaky hand to place her ponderous belly. I don't know why. I just felt that I am abandoning you when you need me the most. You want to share so much with me, but you can't. You cherish every moment, try to be happy, and I knew everything for you. Hate that I hate it, why? But I can't help it. Telling the story is not enough. I want to make everything better. Why can't be any normal person? I want to everything normal. I just wanted to share this every moment like normal person. Why can't I do that? Why can't be normal? She held him tight, tear falling down unchecked. He always put up such a strong front, making people proud. Nothing, no one can. The strong amour he turned. He never expressed his true feeling, hiding everything behind a face guard. He want people to believe in true self. Seeing such a proud man so helpless in front of his fear was breaking her heart into teeny pieces. And there is nothing she could do for him. She wished she could. She desperately wanted to. If she could, she would take his fear away, all the pain he was going through. But it was very intense. You will die. You will see. Once the baby is here, everything will be fine. Everything will be normal. I promise. She said. She made him to look at her. Do you trust me? He stared at her a second before nodding his head. And then believe me, don't you ever do this to yourself. I know you are trying your best and that's enough for me. You are not wounding me. In fact, you are trying very impossible way to get rid of your fear so that you can be there for me. That is more than enough for me. I know you. How much you love and care for me. Don't you ever feel this way? Even if you are not beside me holding my hand, it's fine. Please don't do this. This will hurt me more. Seeing you in pain, what's hurt me? So please don't do. I have to overcome my fear. When I want to, I am scared. What if I can't love you, the baby? What if I treat the baby like I used to treat you? You won't, I promise. And you never treat Yoon badly. Just ignore him, fearing that you will hurt him. You even married to give a Yoon a mother. Would you call the treating him badly? You did everything to make sure that Yoon doesn't lack anything. She rested her forehead against his, staring at his eyes. You will do that same for our baby, Tae. Trust me, you are going to love the baby once the baby is here. I don't think you are going to leave the baby alone even for a second. She chuckled. He pulled her closer and buried his face in her neck. He desperately hoping Ryan was right. He would be able to bear it, unable to be father their baby deserves. He won't be able to take it. He is unable to love the baby as a father to love his child. He won't be able to face her then. When and if anything happened to her, he hold tighten around her. It doesn't even want to think about this possibility. He won't allow it. No matter what, he isn't going to leave her alone. He is going to be with her every second. He won't allow her to leave him. He will be with her, holding her hand, giving all the strength and she needs, no matter what. The day started like any other day. They woke up, had a little family time, had breakfast, but something was up. One could feel. She crossed the hall at her husband's son, who was handling together looking book of Yoon. She signed and ran her hand over her belly. Hang it there, little one. Don't you think any mischief? She could feel something was about to happen, whether good or bad. That's yet to be. Vine, come here, you take over now. I have to call to attend. She smiled at her husband and stood up. Sure, she filled the space vacant by Taehyung. These past days, Taehyung had started working from home completely. She's scared that something will go wrong with her and he might not be there to take care of her. He beside her almost all the time, asking every few minutes how she is. She need anything. She's feeling alright. Some days it's become too much for her, especially with her mood swing. But she try her best to handle over protective husband, reminding herself every minute for every his all worry come from the past month. She thinks she has done really good job to handling some of his fear. Her baby has been in real good health. She hasn't done through half of the trouble now. She heard pregnant women usually go. She just hope her baby continue to be good baby. God, it will be so good if she had one thing to worry about, giving birth to a child. Here she was worrying about the father as well. She worries more about father than her upcoming baby. Yoon, baby, do you think it's normal? Normal is good. She had no idea what to think to anymore. Especially today doesn't look like it's her day today. Yes, Mama, normal is good. But what is normal? Yoon is innocent reply. She smiled. She pulled Yoon close to her. Smile, no idea, baby, it's hard to. What is stingus? You will know one day. Come, let's do something. She stood up, pull Yoon. Making the batter, she poured the oil in the utensil. Once the oil was hot, she started coiling the batter. You stood a little distant, looking to Anastasia. He was enjoying looking at his Uma waist, moving with so ease, but suddenly the heart stopped. He looked at his Uma face. Yoon, I think it's time. You looked into the pain. I don't think so. Uma, look, they are not brown yet, pointing at the pandelight. I don't mean the pan. My pancake, she said, pointing at the stomach. Yoon looked at her confused. You mean the baby? He asked. Yes, baby, I mean the baby. I think it's ready to come. Can you please call your dad? Daddy, just tell me that I am calling him. Don't tell him anything. She says she doesn't want him to know about when she isn't in front of him. Yes, Uma, I will be right back. Yoon jumped off the chair he was standing on and off when he grabbed his daddy. Daddy, Uma is calling you, Yoon said as soon he returned his parents' room. Then had his headphone on looking at the laptop screen. He didn't hear Yoon coming in. Yoon went and stood beside his daddy, grabbing his attention. He pulled off the cell phone and looked at the son. What happened, Yoon? I have a meeting here. Daddy, Uma is calling you. Okay, I will end up this meeting as soon as possible and will be right there. Daddy, she's calling you now. I know, Yoon. Tell her that I won't take long. Not knowing what else to do, Yoon just nodded his head. He can't tell him why his Uma is calling him. She asked him not to. He made a dash to beside his. She saw Yoon running back to her. Daddy told he will come soon as his meeting is over. Wine just stared at him for a few seconds and then she burst into the control room. I can't believe this is happening. This guy is always beside me, irritating me, annoying me and treating me as if I am not invalid, but he's beside me all the time. And now when it's time for the baby, he has meeting to attend. Unbelievable. She wiped the tear off her corner of her eyes and pulled Yoon into hug. Look like I have to make an appearance in front of him myself. I can't make you tell him the reason and risks him breaking his neck trying to reach me soon possible. I want to be in front of him when I tell him this. The constitution very mild now, not the strong one she was feeling a few moments earlier, so she climbed the stair holding Yoon's hand for support. She entered the room, looked at her husband who was on his work. Much like Yoon, she went and stood in front of her husband. Then looked at his wife confused. They have never bothered him when he was having his meeting. What the hell is wrong with both of them today? I think it's time, she said, pleasant smile on her angelic face. He looked at his watch. It's just 12 noon and we still have an hour for lunch, he said, assuming she was talking about the lunch. She giggled, not talking about lunch. Talking about this, she pointed her tummy. He went close in.